documented business case that clearly defines quantifiable return on investments, and I'll just really punctuate in terms that are important to your client. I can tell you that we love our products, right? Everyone, we wouldn't own the companies, we wouldn't be working for the company. So we love what we believe our products can do for our customer. And when we look at it, we say, how can they not want this? But understanding in terms that are important to the customer, and taking the time, and taking the process, and building the process to investigate enough to know what that priority is, and what's important to them. I've had customers where I've been able to show them millions of dollars of cost savings. And they've turned those proposals down. And what they said is, you know, Joe, we need, from now to the end of the quarter, we need to focus on meeting SOX compliance. And if we don't, our CEO is going to leave in an orange suit. So if we're not able to meet compliance here, nothing is good. So I was saying, Jesus, I can save you multi-millions of dollars, and isn't that great? And they're saying, sure, next year come and talk to me. This year, we've got a compliance issue, or we've got another issue. Understanding what's important to them. Now, how do we do that? How do we learn that? It's real complicated. We ask them. We really ask them. We all think that we shouldn't ask. We all think that we can't get to a decision maker. That's really the problem. We all have this idea. We've all watched The Wizard of Oz. We've all seen the wizard behind the mask, and really he's just a nice old guy, but he's got the big mask. We always look and we always say, this final approver, guy's on the ivory tower. I can't get to him. I can't talk to him. I shouldn't be talking to him. He won't talk to me. He won't take my call. How many times have you heard that from your salespeople? Enough times? He won't take my call. He doesn't take calls. I'm here to tell you that it's just an absolute fallacy, and it only comes true because we don't believe they will. That final approver is someone that's paid to make good decisions for the company, and they welcome that dialogue if it's an important project to them. They want to talk to you. They want to know that you're going to mitigate their fear and risk, that you're the person they can count on. So the assumption is always, they won't talk to me, they won't get involved, blah, 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 blah. I can tell you that I fight this fight on an hourly basis with all of my students or all of my clients. And I can tell you that it is just simple. Have a good business case. Ask for the meeting and have the dialogue. It really does happen. Each of you, if you're going to make a high-level decision that means something and changes the business performance of your company, would you want to talk to the person you're buying it from? Show of hands. Would you want to talk to the person that you're buying from? Would you say, no, I don't want to talk to you? That's the common sensible approach. Got to get to that decision maker and understand the level of priority. Yeah. As I said before, as I started the conversation off, I said, I'm going to show you some very advanced techniques. I'm going to make them sound simple because they are. It only gets complicated when we start trying to guess what they might want, and we start cooking up hypotheses of what might really work, instead of having the courage, the credibility, and the certainty to ask what it is and get there. And we'll talk a little bit about that skill on the next slide. Competitor management plan in place that explains why your solution is a better fit to your clients. Nobody engages a competitor. We hope that we can beat the competitor in a frontal assault. We hope that the competitor isn't as good as we are. And how many times have we heard, there's no competitors in this one? It's all ours. If you take one thing from this meeting, never allow yourself to ever believe that again. Ever. A competitor will show up in a worthwhile sale sooner or later. The sooner you know about it, the quicker you can inoculate and manage the competitor. And I use the term inoculate and manage because that's really what you're doing. You have to develop a competitor management plan, pre-proposal, and work from there. Now, how do we learn about competitors? Another trick question, guys. We gotta wake this group up a little bit. Another trick question. How do we learn who the competitors are? I love this one. What other competing ideas or technologies are you looking at? So it's got a soft edge to it, right? It doesn't say, are you talking to ABC, CBS, or XYZ? What other competing initiatives or technologies are you looking at to solve this problem? They will tell you. You'll learn it, or you'll learn at least enough. Another note on competitors, even if there's not what we call an external competitor, there will absolutely be an internal competitor. An internal business group, an internal competing project for those funds, and a competing idea. So understand what that is, what those competitors are, and develop a management plan. And I have a whole program talking about that concept. But in reality, you can draw a crosshair, and there's 4 competitive strategies. Most of us only know one, the direct, right? We're going to engage that competitor in a direct one-to-one showdown, high noon, right? John Wayne. We're going to shoot it out. Who's got the better deal wins, right? That's what we think a competitive management plan is. We're going to buy them a better lunch. We're going to show them that our product is better. We don't have to have a better product. There's 3 other strategies there. A second strategy that we commonly talk about, the direct strategy is the one that we all know about. The indirect strategy is the second one, and it's my favorite. It's because I've worked hard to develop a relationship with the buying committee, I'm able to change the evaluation criteria to meet me, to meet our product or service. Wow. What does that mean? That means that when I get there, as Linda talked about, there are undemonstrated needs. Usually the competitor has the same problem we are. They're selling too low, and they're responding to technical needs. And if we're up high, and we're dealing with high-level decision makers, and we're cultivating them and getting them together and working with them, we're able to impact subtly, not so subtly, never divisively, but we're absolutely able to impact that competitor or that buyer's decisioning criteria. So there's 2 of the 4. We'll talk more later about some of the other ones. But having a competitor management plan in place, and not when you've heard about it, but planning for it. Make sense? Last thing is acceptance criteria clearly negotiated with all members of the decision-making team, I call it the win plan, prior to proposal and presentation development. Linda, we've been working together for 4 days now, and you've seen our product, you've seen our team, right? What, from your point of view as a final approver, what do I need to get your support on this? What needs to go in the proposal for you to support it? Rand, you're from a financial analysis point of view. From a financial point of view, how does this have to work? How does the financing plan, how do the dollars have to roll out for this to work? I want to make sure I'm including it in the proposal. Steve, you're the technical user. I understand that you want to make sure this is a seamless system so that you can lay off those 10 people and use the automation system to do that. I know you love to do that. Are those your criteria? And capture those. And that's where the executive summary of your proposal starts. Simple, straightforward, easy if you do it correctly. Now, the next slide, we're going to talk about the actual attributes or the skills, the selling skills required to be able to pull this off. To be able to meet with your customer as an expert in their industry to recommend, to assess, recommend, and implement high technology solutions to improve their business, you have to have some wherewithal. You have to have some skills, you have to have some capabilities. We're going to talk just about those right now. We call it the 3 C's. It's in clockwise, and it works this way. You can't have one without the other, and how they work is very, very simple. Number 1 is character. I want to go around the room really quick. What does character mean? Not a character, not being a character.
Yeah.
What is character?
Come on.
I've been called a character. Doesn't mean I have character.
Well, what goes through my mind is a word like integrity, trust, trustworthy, these are the words that go through my mind.
That's right. How many salespeople do you know that you feel that way about, by the way?
Well, I don't know, I might take the fifth one.
But I believe them.
Believable.
Yeah.
Max?
Reliable and trustworthy.
Steve?
I think it's knowing that you're going to do the right thing when nobody's watching.
Excellent. That's the dictionary definition. Wendy?
All good. I
Got a
would
top.
actually include competency.
That's the next one.
I see that that's.
You're taking my
I
thunder
know,
away.
sorry about
I can't let you do that. I'll come back to you on that.
that. Oh, all right.
Trustworthy, I think I get the word safe in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
That
Safe?
I feel safe with this
Yes.
person, that I know that what they are saying they're going to deliver.
Absolutely.
I have nothing to add. That's all I talked about.
Should I keep going around? Does someone have we got that there?
You're just likable.
Likeable, right? So, the
Personality.
personality, absolutely.
Reputation.
Absolutely. A reputation, working with others in the field where you've demonstrated some credibility. Okay. That's the foundation of either you, if you're leading the pursuit, or whoever you delegate this pursuit to. They have to have absolute character. And I'll stop and say one thing. If we have anything divisive, any not truth-telling, any withholding of information, it is an absolute mistake. It is a level of incompetency, and we should never have that person working for us. Selling and lying do not go together at the championship level. That be, at the used car sales level, that's okay. But when we're talking about working and customizing our craft and our ability to qualify ourselves to work with final approvers and business leaders, we can never lie. For two reasons. One is the obvious. We might get caught. The second one is the person that we become when we lie. Our affects, our aura is wrong, and people can sense that. They can sense when someone's not telling the truth, and they just get a feel about you that doesn't feel right. So, a very simple concept, and just simply ask yourself about your salespeople. Are they demonstrating character? Second thing is competency. This is the next level up. What does competency mean?
You have to know your business.
You have to know your business. It's a start.
Capability.
Capability. In technical capability, selling capability, customer environment, which one?
It's all of those things, it's about 100%.
People steal and move comparative.
You need to know your customer and their issues, what keeps them up at night, what they're facing in the marketplace.
Know your customer. Is it safe to say know your customer's environment?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Chris?
I think of just confidence. Those abilities. A confident person makes me confident that I'm talking to the right person.
Confident, right?
You have to be able to deliver.
Deliver. Steve?
I would go back to the knowing your customer's business and how your product can help solve their problem.
We have three versions of the right answer, right? Knowing your product, knowing your business, knowing how to sell, and knowing the customer environment. Which is the most important attribute? They're all important. Which is the most important attribute?
Customer.
Absolutely. Now, ask yourself, when you're meeting with your customer or your salespeople are meeting with their customer, are they talking more about their technology and all the things that they know, or are they coming in as a manufacturing process expert, as an expert in their industry with over 100 installs and authority on the subject of their problems?